Hello, everyone. I was going to play you a nice intro video, but I didn't set it up right.
Well, hey, everybody. I'm Matt, and I have my mouth full. And welcome to...
I thought you told me to go live. Welcome, everyone.
And then you said, hey, don't hang on a second, and I put food in my mouth. And you're like, oh, I'm going to do this thing. And then
I messed it up. I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. Hey, so welcome to Illuminated Page here on the Quiett Gentleman Entertainment Twitch stream. Yeah.
This is a Twitch stream, yes.
I'm Matt. I'm going to be running the game. I'm here with Roxy.
Hi.
And you're playing Jewell Rumtree.
Yes. Did you want us to introduce ourselves? I feel like I caught you off guard and I've turned off your intro.
I was looking for my notes in my book. It's fine.
Okay.
I've got Shawn Parks. You are playing Aaron Lockhart.
That's right.
Correct? David McFarland, you're playing Professor Hardgrove.
Howdy, howdy.
And John Thompson, you are playing Bobby Blackwood.
Yes, indeed.
All right. A couple of things real quick. This is Call of Cthulhu. It is a horror-based game. So horror things can happen. We try and keep it PG-13, so nothing terrible, usually. Hopefully nothing terrible tonight. We'll see. But this is a game set in the 1920s, specifically 1925. So I will be using terms and sayings from terms and sayings from those times, not terms and conditions from those times.
Those
I will
would
be using terms
really,
and sayings
really
from
tough
those
to get
times, including some that could be considered offensive. I'm going to stay away from a lot of the bigger stuff. It just could get a little uncomfortable with some of the NPCs because they are NPCs from the 1920s. So with that in mind, we are playing Call of Cthulhu. This is the Masks of Nyarlathotep Super Adventure put out by Chaosium. Not that Chaosium is sponsoring us, although
yeah.
Chaosium, if you're listening and you wanted to sponsor us, you contact me anytime. You have my email already even. We would be happy to have that. But this is by Chaosium. This is an old module that's been around since the 80s. And arguably the best module that was ever written, according to actual, important people, not just me.
Chaosium. It's the game for me.
Mm-hmm. That's me.
Wow. Are you trying to sell yourself
we'll see how bad I butcher it, and maybe it'll still be good after I'm done.
There we go.
But... we ended last week or 2 weeks ago with a party at I've forgotten her name. Erica Carlisle.
Did you want us to introduce ourselves, Matt?
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Why don't we start with you, Roxy?
Hi, I'm Roxanne Thompson, and I'm playing Miss Jewell Rumtree, the museum curator from Savannah, Georgia, here thinking it was going to be a business trip. And it's just turned all nasty.
Different kind of business.
Different kind of business. And not any kind of fun ones. You want to go, Shawn?
Business.
Shawn, do you introduce yourself?
My name's Shawn, and I am playing Aaron Lockhart. I'm a private investigator from New York. Some of my colored history involves being a member of the U.S. Army during World War I, and I kind of have connections in the underworld. Because, my opinion is if you're not doing too bad of a thing, I can work with you to solve the bigger problems.
Plus, you need booze.
That does help.
It helps.
And we've got David McFarland. Who are you playing?
Yeah, that's me. I'm David McFarland, and I am playing Professor Dalphus Hardgrove, Professor of Archaeology at Miskatonic University. Well-known and famous archaeologist, worked in a lot of places in Egypt, a lot of digs. Now starting as a professor at the new location, got Miskatonic, so getting into the whole world of the game here.
Okay. And John, you're playing Bobby.
Yes, I am. I'm playing Bobby Blackwood from the, I guess just the general Blackwoods. They are a well-to-do family in.
The general Blackwood.
Well, they
as opposed to the specific ones.
yeah.
General Blackwood.
Yeah. So, but they are a well-to-do, very rich, posh family located on the East Coast, and I try to pretend I'm not just that, but I'm also a photographer. But let's be honest, my character is mainly
You're just a pretty boy. You're just a playboy.
No, I find his pictures quite useful in the investigations that we do.
You know, that is very true. I agree.
And I'd like to feel that way.
And actually quite handy with a shotgun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he's always good for some pie.
Super, yeah. Two things. John, your character's going to go down with two things. Handy with a shotgun, love some pie.
Very true.
That's what's
very
important.
true.
That's
what's
important.
Yeah.
We all love pie.
So we left off at the Carlisle estate in north of the city. Bobby had gotten invites to the party, and after speaking with Miss Carlisle about her brother's death, she offered to fund you guys. Although Bobby, I mean, you could have paid for stuff, but this is actually super helpful. And also, Aaron, it looks really good on your books when you just have a $5,000 retainer.
Oh, it's excellent.
So that's going to be super helpful. She also handed off 4 books. I can look up the names of those here in a second because I forget what they're called.
I've got them written down here.
Yeah,
you go for it.
We grabbed the Narcotic Manuscripts, which was small and thin and written in English. Hardgrove is familiar with it. Selections of the Livre des Vents, which, let's see,
that
French.
was the French commentary on the original
on
Latin manuscript.
Exactly. And Hardgrove knew that the Miskatonic Library did have the Latin edition that this was the commentary on. Then we also had the People of the Monolith, that was a hand-bound volume that we did determine was not bound in cow, or not bound in like typical bovine leather. And then there was one called Life as a God, which was handwritten like a diary from the early 1800s, and it was likely bound in human flesh.
Skin.
That is all correct.
Yeah.
Skin.
Which is grody.
Yeah.
And I want to say the People of the Monolith, we determined it wasn't cow or human. It was just in some other strange leather.
I figured that part out.
Right,
Yeah, it was some strange type of leather. That for some reason Bobby Black... Well, yeah, we may not have known that as a group, but Bobby did determine that.
That's right.
But that may be secret knowledge.
Is that anything you're not willing to share, Bobby?
How would you know, young sir?
I wouldn't say anything right this moment. I might eventually tell, Aaron, but he's my character. Like when he realized that it wasn't normal, he freaked.
Yeah, Bobby was not in a good way. Bobby is often not in a good way.
Yeah,
we're learning.
After noticing that the one was bound in human skin, when we got back later, I would have been taking a closer look at the others. So.
Yeah,
we would figure all that out at some point.
I will say the others are bound normally. The Narcotic Manuscripts and the Selections de Livre de Vent, they're older binds. They have not been rebound, so they're not pristine condition, but they're in good enough condition you feel comfortable opening them and reading through them without them falling apart. And then Life as a God, you're like 99% sure that's human flesh. The other one, it is not cow. It doesn't feel like cow. Leather doesn't do this. Normal cow leather. So that's something that could be investigated further. But we are going to open up on the 4 of you kind of sitting around a small conference table at Lockhart Investigations. Looking at the clues that you have. Aaron, you actually, a friend of yours from the department, the lieutenant whose name I don't see right here on my notes.
Lieutenant Poole, the veteran of the force?
Was there Lewis?
Yeah, no, it's Lieutenant Poole.
Poole, yeah, because he's your buddy. Lieutenant Poole dropped off a small binder, a small folder of information. So, Roxy, could you throw up Roger Carlisle's picture in the stream?
Yeah, just 1 second there.
Sure. Actually, let's start with the big group. I like
photo?
that even better.
Okay. Let's see that there.
Yeah, there you go.
Transition.
So, and they can still hear us? Yep. Okay, perfect.
Yep.
So, you also handed a folder with kind of dossiers on the 6 members of the expedition. So you see them here in this picture. At the very top, the caption at the bottom is not helpful.
Well, I fixed the caption.
Oh, you did? Okay,
I
perfect.
took out the caption that was in the book that was not correct.
Yeah. So at the very top is Imweru. On the left, kind of in the middle, is Brady. On the right in the middle is Carlisle. Bottom left is Dr. Huston. In the middle on the bottom is Hypatia Masters. And on the bottom right is Arthur Penhew. These are the 6 members of the Carlisle expedition. And by members, I mean there were other people that went with them, but they were all hired help. These were the primary members funding or leading the expedition. The folders you get are dropped off by a uniformed officer with a note stuck inside. It says, Aaron, I received a call from Erica Carlisle's lawyer last night requesting that these be dropped off to you from our files. I hope these help. And it's signed Lieutenant Poole. So these are kind of these are just quick dossiers. I'm going to read over them. Flip over to Roger Carlisle if you don't mind.
Alrighty.
Roxy. So Roger Vane Worthington Carlisle. No police record, no military service. He's always been wealthy, always been neglected, and always been ignored by his father. Young Carlisle craved attention. His lawyers evaded a paternity suit against him when he was 17. He underwent short treatment for alcoholism when he was 18 and again at 20. Miraculously, he graduated from Groton, but was allowed gentleman's resignation from a succession of excellent universities. Yale, Princeton, Harvard, Miskatonic, Cornell, and USC in the next 3 years. When his parents died in an automobile crash, Carlisle seems to take stock of himself and for the next year gained the general approval of his peers, retainers, and relatives. But he slipped back into his old ways when his sprightly sister, who had not neglected her studies, showed a better grasp of family affairs. His lack of character seemed confirmed when Carlisle fell under the influence of a mysterious East African woman, a self-styled poetess with the nom de plume Nchanka Benet. Rumors of debaucheries and worse circulated among police, journalists, and others whose business it is to know the backgrounds of public personalities. Roger Carlisle began to drain great sums of money from his family interests, which prompted vicious arguments between himself, Erica, and their executives. In person, Carlisle remained forthright and friendly and was popular at glittering New York's hotspots. In the months before he left for Egypt, Carlisle seemed to withdraw and become more serious. But though Carlisle might have been maturing, the goals of the expedition remained nebulous and secretive, even to those that should have known. The first Carlisle, Abner Vane Carrell, was transported to Virginia in 1714, having been convicted of, quote, unwholesome and disparative activities, unquote, not otherwise characterized by Derbyshire's authorities. Abner was the illegitimate and discredited son of an undistinguished Midlands nobleman. Abner's son, Ephraim, moved to New England, adopted Carlisle as a more elegant surname, and made sound investments in lumber and textile, the basis of the family fortune to come. The Carlisle interests amassed huge profits during the American Civil War, and far-sighted management further expanded the financial empire in the half-century thereafter. You guys have any questions about Roger before we move on real quick?
Not me.
No, I
Yeah,
think
none
that.
here.
No, I think we're good.
Okay. This is a lot of information, so if I need to cover it and go over it again, I'm happy to do that.
We can always refer to it as we
Sure.
go through.
So Dr. Robert Ellington Huston No police record, no military service. He is the youngest of 3 sons. His father was a Chicago medical doctor who, as a young man, was required or reputed to have been caught up in the utopianism of the early plains and to have belonged to several deviant sects. Robert Huston graduated with honors from Johns Hopkins. After 3 years, he threw over his circulatory ailments practice and his wife and went to Vienna to study first under Freud and then under Jung. Sorry. Huston was among the first Americans to undertake this esoteric and controversial study of the mind, which dealt with so much with the sexual behavior that no respectable person could talk about it. Huston's seemingly salacious and dangerous past, along with his elegant manner and sardonic wit, made him much in demand when he returned to New York City. There he established a practice in psychoanalysis, catering to the very wealthy. Huston enjoyed fame and notoriety. His fees were whispered to be $50 to $60 per visit, at this time when a college professor might make $4,000 a year. Women found him suave, handsome, secretive, perceptive, and sexy. Among his patients was Robert Carlyle. Though Huston supposedly went on the expedition with Roger Carlyle in order to continue treatment, Huston had just broken off an affair with Miss Imelda Bosch, who then committed suicide. It's clear that Roger helped cover up the scandal, and perhaps in return for Huston's company on the expedition. After Huston was declared dead, his records were turned over to the Medical Affairs Board of the State of New York. Controversy about this reached the paper. If you're interested, that's where they'll be.
Okay.
Viscount Pevensey Sir Aubrey Penhew. He had limited service as a lieutenant with the Yorkshire Guards in 1901 and 1902. Breveted as a colonel in the British Army Intelligence from 1915 to 1916, and then retired because of injury. I think we have the wrong picture of him, but that's fine. We're just going to pretend he looks really young.
Well, I was wondering if he wasn't the older guy.
That's all right. It's good. No big deal.
I can show the older guy.
Nah, it's fine. I'm not going to worry about it. It's not a big deal.
We'll fix it later. Fix it in post.
Then police records list only that young Sir Aubrey was caught pinching a policeman's helmet in 1898 while at Oxford. Penhew's public life is easily followed in the Who's Who's, Burke's Peerage, etc., with the inevitable nimbus of black sheep and blackguards down through the centuries. The Penhews trace their nobility from the time of William the Conqueror, when Sir Boris Penhew acquired great holdings in the west of England. With the exception of one Sir Blaise, who was beheaded for treason and black magic, his crimes nearly cost the line its titles and properties. Matt's having trouble reading.
I was going to say, do we need to shorten some of the for you?
The Penhew prosperity and prestige has been undiminished for 8 centuries. Sir Aubrey graduated with honors in classics from Oxford, but spent the next several years in Egypt, surveying and performing exploratory excavations amid the then little-known wonders upriver to the First Cataract and beyond. As his official biography notes, Sir Aubrey is credited with founding several important branches of Egyptology and for several important archaeological discoveries, particular at Dashur. Nearly as important, the Penhew Foundation, set up by Sir Aubrey, has underwritten many important researches at home and abroad and is responsible for the education of many brilliant but penniless scholars. Sir Aubrey has title to several famous stately homes, as well as mansions in London, the Cotswold, Monaco, and Alexandria. And townhouses in Paris, Rome, and Athens. He is incontestably wealthy and reputedly made new fortune from his American holding companies during the Great War. Though he is a public figure, Sir Aubrey's private life is little known. He's a bachelor without family or heirs other than the Penhew Foundation. His Egyptologist peers hold him in high respect. So, Dr. Hardgrove, you're familiar with him?
Okay.
And you probably have met him in passing, but you do find him respectable, or did. It's been several years.
So the way this is set up, he was like the grandfather of early Egyptian exploration.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
He wasn't the first person to do it, but he was the first person to really categorize and start working on organizing it.
Okay.
Miss Hypatia Celestine Masters. She has no police record or record of public service. She is heiress to the Masters armament fortune, the dark antecedents of which have been chronicled in the muckraking Masters of Corruption by Nikolai Steinberg. Miss Masters' grandfather, Aldington Masters, held onto and increased the holdings by leaving most decisions to a series of chief executives who uniformly made intelligent, far-ranging, and profitable moves. George, her father, also adopted this relaxing way of life, spending his time doting on his daughter. Hypatia attended Swiss and French academies, showing facility. Yeah,
You
facility
okay?
for languages. What?
Are you? I was just wondering if you're okay. It's just a lot of reading.
Yeah. Her great interest proved to be photography. So, several of her shows earned good reviews and enthusiastic attendance. A daring streak in her led to an incautious affair with a Catholic Marxist, one Raul Luis Maria Pinera, at City College of New York. With a
Scandal.
Yep. Miss Masters dated Roger Carlyle several times, but only as a friend. Her presence on the expedition might have been Carlyle's gallant whim. No one actually knows why she was invited and why she accepted. And the last member, Jack O'Reilly Brass Brady. Brass being his nickname.
Jack Brass Brady.
His police record lists assaults, barroom brawls, petty theft, loitering, gambling, mopery, public drunkenness, and an acquitted murder charge. As a Marine, what now?
I was gonna say, I wish we could arrest people on mopery now.
Mopery, yeah. Quit moping. Are you putting him up?
Yeah. I put the old guy up for the other one.
Oh, okay.
So I was gonna put this guy. We'll figure out who they're actually supposed to be.
Sure. As Marine Sergeant Jack Brady served in China and later on the Western Front in France, earning a Bronze Star and other commendations. He is rumored to have been a mercenary in Turkey just after the war and to know Turkish and Arabic, as well as several Chinese dialects. In the oil field California fight, he apparently throttled his opponent to death before onlookers could pull him off, suggesting great strength or perhaps excellent technique. The oil field murder piqued the curiosity of Roger Carlyle, who just then had been expelled from USC. After an hour-long interview, the two forged an intimate alliance, amazing everyone who knew Roger Carlyle, for the youth had never made any strong friendships. Carlyle summoned the best legal minds in the country for the defense, who proceeded to blow to pieces the seemingly open and shut case offered by the county prosecutor, and acquitted on various technical grounds. From time to time, from that time, Jack and Roger rarely were separated. At times, Brady was Carlyle's bodyguard, and other times his spokesman. For the expedition, Brady acted as general foreman and manager, and by all accounts performed well. Brady's nickname comes from a brass plate about 4 inches square, which he carries over his heart. The plate is described as covered with strange signs and inscriptions. Bullets twice have dented it. Brady said that his mother, a recluse in Upper Michigan, had the eye, and that she made the plate to guard her impetuous son. So those are the 6 members of the Carlyle expedition as the dossiers kind of outline them.
Oh, did they not talk about Mweru?
They have no information on Mweru.
Okay.
Other than she is from somewhere in Eastern Africa. They believe Kenya.
Okay. Cool. Let's see. All right, back to us.
Dear
Yeah.
God.
It's a lot of information to
No,
take in
but
there.
it's like the worst thrown together. A lot of people I mean, New York's kind of jungle to itself. I mean,
Right.
you put these people, violent people, people with their heads not screwed on right about this kind of thing. No wonder nobody really paid attention, or not too much of an investigation. This looks like a disaster from the start. I mean, I'm sorry that the was it Brady?
Yeah. Yeah, Brady's definitely a piece of work. I mean, he's got a rap sheet that's...
I mean, between Carlisle, who sounds like, oh my
like a
goodness,
fruitcake.
and this girl who got pulled into all this.
Yeah, that's the only one that sticks out to me as weird, because everybody else, I can find a reason why they were included in this party.
Well, she was friends with
She
Carlisle.
was friends. I mean,
Do you know any of her work, Bobby? She was a photographer.
Not personally. I'm really only following people recently who kind of the movers and shakers right now. I mean, that's the thing.
Well, and that also would have been 6 years ago when Bobby was 13.
Sure, but I didn't know if any of her work were still, it sounded like she was fairly, prodigious in her talent.
Aaron, you were a corporal, is that correct? No.
No,
yes.
I was a sergeant by the time I left.
A couple of guys that kind of went down a darker road.
Yeah.
After the service, as much as it sounds like brass is rough, there are other guys you could see that you served with going down the same direction. Once they get out of the service and they aren't pointed in a direction, they don't always know what to do.
Right, and you're always at loose ends. So, I mean, Brady's definitely not the worst of the bunch. I mean, he's violent. He takes care of business in the most direct means possible, but at least,
Well, that and honestly, Powers, was that her name? Powers?
Masters.
But she was probably bored. I hate to say
these expeditions can be a big undertaking. There's a lot of people involved with going to it. Not all of them that are actually doing anything. You get people that put in the money to front these things up, and a lot of times they want to go along for an adventure.
Yeah. No, the stupid things I've seen people do, honestly, that don't get reported in the papers, for boredom, this like reeks of it.
Which is kind of sad, because then we've got Penhew, who, for all intents and purposes, based on his information, seems like an upstanding person, and he was probably intrigued with some kind of possible unheard of expedition or discovering of something that has never been heard before, and I'm sure that's why he jumped on it. Robert Huston. That sounds like a piece of work.
Yeah. Yeah, he's one of those psychologists that you don't want to know.
No, this is a mess, and we're going to be following it, which is going to make this really interesting.
It would definitely be interesting. I mean, and let's not forget. I mean, I know that this was a friend of mine that delivered the information, but we found out just the other day that the police have been compromised because they had destroyed some information.
Sure.
There, we found that out from the last, when they tried to invade our office, that the cultists. Not that the police know that they're cultists, but people higher up have their hands in this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Huston was he may have had scandals and things like that, but he was still fairly well known, and he was obsessed with these things, as far as we can tell. And so it wouldn't surprise me if somebody on the force was obsessed also with these sorts of things, or at least aware of them. And I mean, it could just be cash under the table, but
so the brass plate that Brady wore, was that like a necklace, or was it something that was in his body?
It's like a necklace.
Okay, that's a little less creepy.
Huh. Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, well,
I mean, we have a lot of different options to pursue. I mean, is there anything else that we really need to start researching here before we make decisions on where to go, or do we feel confident?
Honestly, I want to get out of New York as soon as we can do it, but I
Yeah.
understand that we might want to get because I mean we already have several places where we could go, and just because it's been quiet for a couple days, doesn't mean that we're not gonna be set upon by more cultists in the night like Bobby was.
That's
The longer we linger in New York, and the more people know where we are or what we're doing, I think it's going to get harder for us to leave.
Yeah.
And I mean, would our passports have arrived by now? We sent for them before the party on Sunday.
For expedition's sake, yeah, or expedient's sake, yes.
Okay.
Expedition's sake. I guess it works either way.
For the sake of the expedition.
Also, since we jumped ahead in time, we didn't want to do that. What about some kind of paperwork that we can take our firearms and stuff to London?
You can't. Firearms are not legal at all in England. So getting them into the country is going to be a thing. Not to say you can't smuggle them in or have someone bribed, but there is no official legal way to get them into England.
Really?
I know, yeah, I'm like, were they really outlawed already in the 20s?
I can look it up to be sure. But I'm pretty positive.
Yeah,
I mean, even we have to make some like fake paperwork, for what we're doing or something.
Oh, like for hunting?
We are planning to go to Africa.
About that, Dalphus, as you can see, the cases that I brought, or I had brought to me, have stamps and stickers from all over, and it's not lingerie, I can assure you. There are ways to get things of that nature into other countries where they might not necessarily be allowed.
I'm sorry. Let's back up. Yes, you can absolutely take guns.
Oh,
That's
okay.
fine.
Never mind.
Yeah, I just found that information.
However, you will have to have them licensed and licensed to a proper ID.
Okay.
Well, I don't think we're planning on traveling under any kind of fake documentation, so we should have no problems getting our weapons.
I think it's fine. Yeah. Is there a restriction on count?
They probably don't want you just bringing loads and loads of guns. If it looks like you're going to sell them, that could be a problem.
No, absolutely not.
Well, like I said, we are actually planning to go to Africa at some point in this.
I mean,
so
you could say it was a safari.
I don't know if my Colt will exactly qualify as a hunting weapon.
But you wouldn't have to call it for that.
That's true. Personal protection.
We're talking like if we have more than one or two or three long guns traveling with us, that's when people might question.
I don't suppose you happen to have an elephant rifle in one of those cases of yours to make it look like we're going on safari.
I don't like to tell men what's in my suitcases. As a rule.
Except that it's obviously not lingerie.
Do I look like a lingerie woman to you, Dalphus?
I don't want to question what you do in your personal life with your husband.
Well, he appreciates that, I'm sure.
Well, all things considered,
and Bobby's like, let's change the subject now.
Yeah.
I don't like blood, I don't like cultists, I don't like ladies' lingerie.
Didn't say that, but,
And he doesn't like the three of them together.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, that was an image. I don't know. Am I being paranoid that okay? Look, I can't. I'm no good with a handgun. Like my pa taught me to hunt. He was like, you got to be able to hunt. To him, it was like you.
The gentleman's sport.
No, not even that. My family's a little bit cutthroat when it comes to business. You go out, you take a bunch of guys out hunting, and the thing is that you take a city boy out hunting, they freak. I'll be honest. You take them out in the countryside, hand them a gun, and tell them to shoot something. My dad would use that as a power maneuver.
I can totally understand that.
And so he made sure we all knew how to hunt. We all knew how to carry ourselves, and so that we could do the same thing someday. So yeah, I'm good with the rifle, but it's like I'm really wondering if I'm getting a little bit paranoid because I think I might need to be carrying something on me. But I know that you just can't walk through the streets of London with something.
Well, I mean, there's all kinds of ways to get around. You don't have to hold it in your hand the entire time. I mean, there are holsters and things that would hide it under your jacket.
But for a rifle?
For a shotgun?
Well, not for a shotgun.
Yeah, see,
You'd have to at least try something.
And you could always wear a duster. I mean, that's one of the reasons dusters were used. I mean, it could help conceal longer guns.
At best,
Yeah.
don't you have a trench coat or something for when it gets cold up here?
Yeah,
I mean,
got
it
something.
is winter time, so a long overcoat would not be out of place.
I can find something, but I'm just wondering if I need to go. The dime store novels carrying around like a guitar case with something in it, or
GM, can I roll something to see if I know of someone in town that might be able to make a case?
Would you like to say that you know a guy?
I would like to say that I know a guy, because somebody
Sure.
made mine.
Yeah. No, you can. You know a guy that can definitely help you out. What exactly are you looking for?
Something that we could conceal perhaps a sawed-off shotgun in, or even, I don't know, this is where my firearms knowledge, especially at this time in history, is very lacking, but something that might be, some sort of long gun that might be able to be assembled, attach a barrel or something, or detachable barrel so it could fit in, say, a briefcase or something, or be concealed.
The only problem with that
You'd have to
would
put it
be
together.
you'd have to put it together, and you don't have the time for that. I say if we can get something that looks like a
camera case,
pool cue case, that would hide a long-barreled gun quite nicely, and it would allow you. Oh,
Bobby?
He's got to be able to shoot pool.
Well, I would
I'm
hope
not
so.
bad at shooting
Okay,
pool.
we're gonna say he's got billiards.
So
as a
I think
skill.
that would allow you to carry around the gun, Bobby, and make it very inconspicuous because we can set the case up to make it like a pool cue, put some kind of pool cue decoration on it. I don't know. I mean, if Jewell knows a guy, we could actually make something with a removable bottom.
If
so
we
the
can
top part is the pool cue.
Let's just find a guy and see what they have. I mean.
Yeah, or even a violin
I mean,
case or
worst comes
something
to
like
worst,
that. I mean, it could be a hog leg or something, or a mare's leg rifle. They're the ones that they're shorter, but they don't fire the same as long guns. But you're very adept at that shotgun you've been using.
Yeah. Well, worst comes to worst, we could always I'm very skeptical of using the people that I know because they want to.
We'll use my people.
Okay, yeah, because some of the people I know,
somebody.
they'd probably want to use it against me.
Yeah. So, Jewell, Mrs. Rumtree, you know a man named Peyton Briggs. He runs a second-hand store, which is just a really fancy way of saying a pawn shop.
Sure.
He can probably build that for you. Maybe you'd have to check with him to see how long.
Okay.
And he's not going to ask a ton of questions, usually.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, I've got a friend. Let me give. Actually, can I see that shotgun of yours?
Yeah, yeah.
Because we did get it back, right?
Oh yeah,
Didn't we
yeah.
get
Oh,
it?
yeah. The cops didn't take it from him. He's Bobby.
Oh, I thought
No,
they did
they
take
took
it.
it,
You
but
got
I
it
asked
to
it
give
back.
Oh, that's right.
When we got our other stuff back.
And instead of being like, no, we need this for evidence, like, sure.
Yeah.
And then they gave him some pie.
That's right. Have some pie, Bobby, and learn what baking soda is. Here's a book from Betty Crocker. So I would pack the shotgun in something fairly inconspicuous.
In
so
one
that
of
I
your
could,
cases?
I mean, it could be in a. And they're padlocked. Don't try to get into them while I'm away. No. No, I'd probably just. I'd have a bag or something that I could hide something in, and a carpet bag or something, and then I.
Big carpet bag.
Are you just gonna like Mary Poppins this?
Yes. Can't even say no. I've got something that I'll carry it in, or probably just a box. And I'll put some tape around it to look like I'm delivering a package, and I'll go to Briggs's secondhand store.
And you're gonna go there alone?
Unless somebody would like to come with me, but I'd
like go with you.
You want to go with me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Blackwood, let's I'll introduce you to a friend of mine.
Well, he does have
Okay.
the car. He'll get you there faster.
Oh, that's true. I'm not afraid of public transport, though. Nobody would ever think that I'd be carrying around a shotgun in a cardboard box on the bus. Or whatever it is in 1925. I think they got a bus.
They probably have
Probably.
buses. They also have the
trolley.
the subway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we took the subway back after we dropped the car off.
That's
Yeah,
right.
chunks
that's
chunks
right.
of the subway are already built.
See, that's Roxanne forgetting that the subway exists in 1925.
Or that the subway exists in America, since we don't have a lot of public transportation here.
That's true. But all right, so we go to Peyton Briggs, secondhand store. Peyton, you may not remember me.
Ms. Rumtree, it's good to see you.
I do cut a rather imposing figure. Hard to forget. This is my new friend, Bobby Blackwood. I doubt someone like him has been in here.
Always good to meet people. How you doing? I reach out a hand to shake hands.
He shakes your hand. It's pretty calloused. He's clearly done a lot of days' labor with his hands.
I've got a request for you, Peyton.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember those cases you made for Claudius about 5 or 6 years ago?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Could you do something like that, maybe with a pool cue case? For
What are you looking to
international
hide in it?
I would set the. May I set this box on your counter?
Sure.
And so I set the box on the counter, and I undo some of the straps on it or the tape, and I lift it a little bit, and it's something shaped kind of like this.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah, I can probably get that worked out. If you could do me a favor.
I always happy to return a favor. What might you need done?
I just need you to speak to my bookie and hand him some money.
Sounds good. Am I gonna get accosted, Mr.
You
Briggs?
shouldn't, but I would.
Okay. Yeah. Do you have it here? Or would you like me to pick it up from
Yeah,
somewhere
yeah,
else?
yeah. He goes over the register and pushes the button to open it and hands you $22. Says you're gonna need to talk to a guy named Jimmy Two Nose.
Oh,
Jimmy
Jimmy
Tunos?
Two Nose. Wouldn't you know it? I just heard that man's voice the other day. I'll be sure to deliver this.
Ask him about the typewriters.
Yeah, if you could drop that off, he should be, and he gives you like a small deli that you're familiar enough with to know that it has mob ties,
Sure.
and guys hang out there a lot.
Okay.
He says, I'll have to charge you for the box, of course, but if you could deliver that for me, that would help me out quite a bit.
That's fine. How much time are we talking for this case? We have a international trip coming up.
That answers that question. Okay, so I'll probably have it done by tomorrow around this time. It's going to take me a good amount of work.
Yeah, no, I completely understand. I would not want to rush you at all, but we will be back tomorrow.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. So you're going to go drop off the money for Jimmy Two Nose.
Yep.
I don't think we need to role play through that. And actually, I think you guys are going to get the box. Is there anything else anybody wants to do in New York before we go?
No, I don't think we necessarily need to buy any supplies now. We can get what we need when we're across the ocean and.
Yeah, it's not like you're going to the middle of nowhere. It's London.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that we probably when we sent for our passports, we probably sent for I would have sent for extra clothes, clothes appropriate for international travel and adventuring. My adventure wear, adventurer's outfit or whatever they call it in D&D.
Do we need to book passage on boat or whatnot?
Yeah, you'll need to book passage. You can get there in about a week on a passenger liner.
Okay. Cool.
So that means Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, we can. You can read up on some of your books, Professor.
Bobby, have you read this French one? I would have asked him at some point since he could read French.
Yeah,
I was like, can you
I can take a look at
translate
it.
any of this?
Yeah. Let me take a look. And yeah, so I'll take a look at the French one. I think
I mean, in the days that it takes before we get on the ship, or when we get on the ship, whatever is more convenient to your time.
So what we're gonna do is take a quick break to level you guys up.
Okay.
And by level you guys up, I mean nothing really. So let's look at what you guys got accomplished. You killed a couple of bad guys.
Okay.
You killed a couple other bad guys, and you killed some more bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then you killed an alleyway full of bad. You killed a lot of people, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're awful.
That one dude killed himself.
True.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, yeah.
They ran into my bullets. Let's put it that way.
So I'm gonna give you guys all back 1d3 sanity for a job done. I'm not gonna say well done. It's definitely not incomplete.
So the 1d3. So that's 1 point if it's a 1 or a 2. 2 points if it's 2 or 3.
Yes. So I got 3
That is all
back.
correct.
I got 3 back. I rolled a 6.
I got 2 back.
There you go.
That dice has been horrible to me, and yet
Oh
I'm
my
so
goodness!
I'm so
I'm
thrilled.
back up to almost full.
I'm nowhere near that.
Oh wait, maybe I'd marked that wrong.
Bobby's been slowly
I'm at
losing
a
his
better place
mind.
than I was last time.
So
I think you've all been slowly losing your mind.
Except for David or Hardgrove.
I've only lost like 4 points. So
Ugh, you guys.
I just started really high.
So I'm one of the few that actually took damage in one of the
It's always
fights. I
easier when
lost
you
1
start
point.
high.
So I'm guessing, do I get that back now?
You'll need to. Yes, you will.
Okay.
Technically, you need to roll, but like you're gonna have plenty of time to take some downtime.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever took hit points.
No.
No,
They
you're
didn't get a lot of
saying just
chances
to
to
hit.
do anything when Two Gun Willie over there just keeps shooting everybody.
We rolled good on our shots.
Yeah.
So everything that you guys have marked the box.
I think he's earning a new nickname.
Two
Bobby
Gun Willie.
Boom Boom Blackwood.
Oh, Bobby
Blackwood.
Boom Boom Black. I like that.
That's
Bobby
his
Boom
mod
I
Boom.
actually
name.
kind of like that.
That's how he introduced himself to Jimmy Two Nose. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm Bobby Boom Boom Blackwood from the General Blackwoods.
General Blackwood.
Yes,
So-
Eddie's.
For every box that you marked next to a skill, you're going to roll your percentile. You're going to try and roll over that skill. If you do, you're going to add a D10 to that skill. And keep track of what you have succeeded on while you're going through those.
You know, this will be the time that I can't roll high for nothing.
So,
Nope.
quick question.
Right.
One of the things I succeeded at was dodge, which was based off of half your dex, so I get to roll.
You
to
still can
increase
up that, yeah.
Nice.
Nope.
Yeah, I rolled an extreme success on my history. I rolled a 7.
So, no, I'm a dodge.
Ooh. I did make it on listen.
I'm sorry, what?
I made it on listen. And I gained 7 points.
So we got to roll above what the current stat is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how's your
All right.
archaeology looking, Dave?
Let me see if this archaeology is going to go up or not.
Yay.
No.
Someday you'll roll that 100. Yeah, I I literally rolled extreme successes on all 3 of mine.
Dude. I didn't think I was going to
All
make
right.
it.
I'm not going to roll well again for the rest of the night, gents.
My fighting is going to go up.
Nice.
What did we do to
Roll
it
a
up
D10.
again?
You roll a D10 and add.
Okay.
I rolled a 7,
Ooh.
a 10, and an 18.
Nope.
Okay, so my fast talk, fighting, and firearms are going to go up.
Nice.
And no.
No
Okay.
fair.
Well, I got my listen and my persuade up.
Cool.
So
Did anybody raise their skill above 90?
no. I almost got there. I'm at an 89 in persuade now.
Ooh. Okay. All right.
But
So during this time, who is reading what?
I'm reading the French commentary.
Okay. I've got that here. Oh, I need to look in the regular book for that. So what I'm going to need you to do is first roll your French.
Okay.
Just added 10 points to my first aid, boyos.
Nice.
Nice.
That is a hard success.
That's good. So you have a skill called Cthulhu Mythos.
Mm-hmm.
What is that currently at?
15.
You're going to make it a 21.
Ooh.
You're going to roll a d6.
D6. I got 4.
You're going to lose that much sanity.
Which you just
all my
earned.
sanity I had. I gained. Hey, but that's good. That's a good trade, right?
Sure. Now, another thing to keep in mind is now that you have 6 more Cthulhu Mythos, that's 6 more points of sanity you can never have. So you'll need to black those out in your sanity box. It's a permanent loss. You can never get that back.
Does
So
that take you down below where you just got back up to?
Yeah, only by 1 point.
Dang.
This is a commentary on the book Liber Ivanis. Originally, it's thought to have been written by Eben, a wizard of Hyperborea. There's no earlier version than the Latin one that's been verified.
A wizard of Hyperborea.
That's, yep. This one is... Okay, I got it. Okay. So, you are also going to gain the ability, if you so choose, to learn 2 spells. You learn about a being called Noddins. And so far, he doesn't seem too bad. It's like, he's an elder evil creature, but mostly he doesn't hurt people. Mostly.
Only those that get in his way.
Right. What now?
Yeah, I think that I probably will.
Okay, so you can learn a spell called Contact Noddins. Nodens. And then you can also learn another spell that essentially allows you to create a mist, but it will require some items for that to work.
Components.
Nice.
All right, 2 things here, Matt.
Yes.
When we're rolling these percentages, if you meet the score, does it go up?
No.
Okay. And then my language is now 100.
Was it below 90?
No, it was at 96 before. I
Okay.
rolled a 100 on the percentile and then a 9 to go
Okay,
up.
so
On
you
language. Language of all things.
You actually can only go to a 99 because there's always a chance that you can fail, but otherwise there's no other real effect except that you're really good at English. Now you can correct people's grammar all the time.
Oh, God.
Wonderful.
Taking
That's what I like to do.
That kind
So
of
the other
professor.
spell, John, is called Eben's Wheel of Mist. Do you want to learn that one as well?
That could have some advantage.
Yeah. It could boost some stealth rolls.
Yeah.
Sacrifice your sanity for the greater good.
Just for clarification, as I'm reading these things, are the words beginning to make sense based on other things I know?
Yes. There is a cadence in the writing that is familiar.
Ooh. Yeah, so yeah, definitely my character's like,
Uh-oh, Bobby's got secrets.
Oh, you have no idea. His real name is Robert. Dun, dun, dun.
And he goes by Boom Boom.
Yep.
A boom, boom,
Other
boom,
secret.
Bam, bam.
So, who else was reading a book?
I was.
Which one are you reading?
Are we talking about on the trip?
Yeah.
Okay, so I had requested that we got the Latin version of the book that the commentary was written about.
Yeah, they're
These
not going to
selections
let you. You would have to come to the university. To
Okay,
get
so that was not able to go with us. All right.
Yeah, I mean, like you're essentially asking for one of 13 books that exists in the whole world,
Gotcha.
or 13 copies to go with you. That'd be like if you were Johnny Depp and just running around with books written by the devil.
Okay.
I saw that movie.
That was a
Yeah.
So I would have
Dalphus, you know they're not going to let you use
probably looked over the Life as a God journal.
Excellent.
Would have been a shorter read, I think.
Yeah,
Someone's journal, right?
that. But a
roll
crazier
your
one.
English.
Oh, okay.
I got to ask you to do it.
1,000.
I mean, yeah.
That would be an exceptional success.
Extreme
Okay.
is the term
Extreme
we
success,
like to
yes.
say.
Sorry.
So what is your
You
Cthulhu
and
Mythos
your-
currently at?
You and your grammar.
Palpable.
Cthulhu Mythos, is that
Palpable
a cult
success.
or is that a different?
No, it is specifically Cthulhu Mythos.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, sure. Let me
alphabetical.
find it. Okay. Oh, it is 0.
Okay. You're going to add 4 to that to make it a 4.
Okay.
Yep. And then looking at your sanity box,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to see at the very bottom right-hand corner of the sanity box is like a 99, right?
Right. Uh-huh.
You're going to black that out, and then you're going to black out the next 3 next to it. You can never have that sanity ever.
So 96 through 99.
Yes. As you gain Cthulhu Mythos, and we didn't cover this with Bobby too much because John and I had already
So it
discussed
starts at 99
Yeah,
for your
so I
blackout.
changed
not
it,
For, oh,
yeah.
okay.
this. As you gain Cthulhu Mythos, it is so foreign to your mind that it breaks it in a way that makes it unable to heal ever again. So basically, it doesn't make you insane. It does make you insane as you learn it, but it doesn't make you insane because you know it. It just makes you unable to be more sane.
Which is why all wizards are nutters.
Yeah. Yeah. The other thing to keep
Man,
in mind
I
is
tell
even if you
ya,
had a
Nutty Buddy sounds
99% in Cthulhu Mythos, you wouldn't know half of anything about the Cthulhu Mythos. So those are very specific things in the book. So there's always a good chance that you don't know what's going on, but sometimes Cthulhu Mythos is important.
Well, at least we know that the professor.
We'll have to make a note of until I can figure out how to actually black it out on this sheet.
Oh, because is it
gonna,
digital?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna get you. I'm gonna get you the PDF, David. I know I've said that 4 weeks in a row, but I thought about it today and I forgot again. But I'm making a note right now.
Well, I've got the edible PDF character sheet. I don't know how it doesn't let me black out the numbers.
Yeah.
Oh.
You'll
What
also need to roll a
highlight?
d6.
Okay.
Yeah, you would have to do something different. When you come down, David, let's look at it, and maybe we
Okay.
can edit that sheet.
Sure. All right, roll a d6.
Yes, please.
5.
You lose that much sanity.
Woo! All right.
Finally, are you?
Well, there
out
goes
of
all the
70s?
sanity I got back.
You out of the 70s yet?
No.
Oh my gosh.
This is a
I'm happy to be at
handwritten
33.
copy or handwritten diary by one Montgomery Crompton. He's an English artist who came to Egypt in 1805. He claims to have become a minor priest of something called the Brotherhood of the Black Pharaoh. And can you roll your archaeology or your history for me,
Sure. You know
Professor?
he's going to roll archaeology because that's his other 99.
And
Did you say Montgomery Crompton?
Yes.
I've got an extreme success on archaeology or a hard success on history.
So you know that the Black Pharaoh is this figure that broke up a dynasty in Egypt. I believe it's the second dynasty. And it was like, oh, everything's going well. And then this magician showed up, murdered a guy, became the Pharaoh, then disappeared, and everything went back to normal. It's just this weird period of breaking. But this is all like second dynasty. Like this is long ago. Long ago. So the fact that there's a brotherhood of a guy that existed that long ago is weird. And then the work is bound in human skin, and it narrates all manners of unspeakable acts committed for the Pharaoh of Darkness. In particular, The diary has a passage. Roxy, I think we did this already, but can you put number 19 up?
Sure. One brief moment. Let's see here. Turn that off.
And then make my voice super, super, super scary.
You know, I wish I knew what setting to do that with.
Yeah, I know.
It's
all right.
We do have a voice modulator on this board, but I don't know how to make it scary. I'm
Life
afraid
is a
I'd turn you
god.
into baby metal.
This is an excerpt from the handwritten diary of Montgomery Crompton. Its angles were magnificent and most strange. By their hideous beauty, I was enraptured and enthralled, and I thought myself of the daylight fools who had judged the housing of this room as mistaken. I laughed for the glory they missed. When the 6 lights lit and the great words said, then he came, in all the grace and splendor of the higher planes. I longed to sever my veins so that my life might flow into his being and make me part of a god.
Oh, fun.
From what you're reading, he in that is probably the Black Pharaoh, or the Pharaoh of Darkness. In the diary are also graphic depictions of murders, sacrifices, and so on, all of which mention the short, single-spiked clubs which the cultists you've seen, which is odd. Because the short, spiked clubs are for supposedly the cult of the Bloody Tongue.
Do you tell us any of this, Dalphus, or do you and I talk about any of this?
Yes, at some point I would relay what I learned.
I would have my copy of radio news and be like, this is way more domestic and pleasant than what you're reading.
Yeah, I'm going to spend the trip reading this side of paradise.
Yeah. So, am I to infer that perhaps the cult of the Bloody Tongue is what the cult of the Dark Pharaoh is, or the Pharaoh of Darkness is now, or the Black Pharaoh, or whatever? Is that? Can we assume that, or are these two separate things that are fingers in the same hand?
From your research, Dalphus, no, they're two separate origins.
Okay.
But the cult of the Black Pharaoh was Second Dynasty. The cult of the Bloody Tongue seems more recent, so it could still be linked the same dark god.
But it's in Kenya.
Yeah.
In Kenya.
Okay.
So, like, and to give you an idea,
Yeah, that's right. I remember
to
you
go
saying
over
That's
to
right.
go oversea to Kenya, you go through the Suez Canal from Egypt. It's like 4 days. To get there on foot, it's like 6 weeks.
that. Wow. Okay.
So while it might have been something they could have traded with if the Suez Canal existed, getting there you have to go through essentially the mountains of Africa and the Sahara.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
it's not the best way to do it.
Sure. Oh, Dalphus, do you still have Elias's notes or did he mention the Brotherhood of the Black Pharaoh in his? Because didn't he do some writing on
Death cults, but
death cults?
The
Yeah.
information that the information
it
that
was Cowles
his-
that knew about the dark sects.
right, the information that Jackson had was all about the Bloody Tongue.
Okay.
That was his current obsession, what he was writing about.
Well, so clearly there's a connection that we're just not seeing yet
Which
outside of the clubs.
what was the guy's name? The professor that
Yeah, Anthony Cowles down
yeah,
in
Anthony
Australia.
Cowles. His lecture was Cults of Darkness.
That's true. That's true. But he said we'd have to go to Sydney to talk to him about it.
Yeah.
And it's also Cult of Darkness in Polynesia and the
Wow.
Southwest Pacific.
Yep, completely different.
Yeah, it's
Geographical
So
area.
weird.
little bit.
Little bit.
So is anybody else reading any of the books?
Nah, because I've
What-
got my hands full with
The narcotic
Fitzgerald.
manuscripts were in English, were they not?
That's correct, and so is People of the Monolith.
I mean, why not? I am a museum curator. I'm kind of interested to know what was in these. I am reading radio news as well because electronics are fascinating.
So to spare our sanity, which one would you like to pursue, Jewell?
I rather like the manuscripts. Manuscripts are something I'm familiar with in Museum Curator. We have a few manuscripts in the museum at Arkham.
Okay.
Then
So,
Sanity,
let's
I
start
loved
with
you.
that then.
Okay.
Roll or add 10 to your Cthulhu Mythos.
10?
Oh yeah, but you know that.
So I got the
since it's
nasty
10,
one.
Can you do me a
big
favor?
sanity loss coming.
Can you roll a D8?
Here goes my sanity. I just got you back. Happy 33. An 8. That is a 5.
So you lose 8. That's rough.
I lose 8.
Yeah.
So it's 5 plus 3.
So, what now?
5 plus 3.
Oh, I thought you said you rolled an 8. If
No,
you rolled a
no,
5,
no.
then you
No,
lose
she
5.
she found her D8.
So I lose.
Oh, yeah. You lose whatever you rolled.
So I lose that from my current sanity or that permanent sanity loss.
Current sanity. It's gonna be the 10 that you got in Cthulhu Mythos that you lose all 10 of that from your permanent.
Okay. So.
So there is apparently. So this is a manuscript of a book that is English in translation, but it's translated according to the notes in the book from a previous book called the Narcotica.
Spelled similarly, I assume.
Enakotica. Yeah. Which was supposedly written in classic Greek. It traces the origins of pre-human crinoids who seeded life on Earth.
Who seeded? Okay, seeded like SEEDED.
Yes, that's correct. There is a spell inside. Would you like to learn it? It's about contacting things.
Oh, guys, how soon do you want to say goodbye to Miss Rumtree? Because I have a feeling the first time I use this spell, I'm gonna just lose what's left of my marbles. They were nice marbles too. Cat's eyes on all. Yeah, why not? I could use something else to do something else.
So you have a spell called Contact Winged Thing. Now, that is not the actual name of the spell. That is what the spell is called in that book.
Okay.
If you decide to use it, remind me to look up the correct spell in the book.
Okay.
That is such a broad category.
Contact Migo. Contact.
No, it's not
Byakuya.
Amigo. It is definitely
Byakuya.
not Amigo.
Okay, good. All right.
Technically, Migo aren't Cthulhu creatures. They're aliens.
Oh, that's right. I'm not. I know a lot of names of beasts from the board games, but I will be honest, I'm not as familiar with what they actually are anymore.
Technically, it's eggs with Conte.
Aaron, did you say you were going to read the People of the Monolith?
Yeah,
Is that
I'll read
where you were getting towards?
Yep, I'll
Okay.
read the People of the Monolith. The one
So
with the creepiest cover.
you'll add 3 to your Cthulhu Mythos.
Woohoo!
How did I pick the worst one?
You're the one that wanted the manuscript. I offered it.
I know. Well, I assumed that Crompton's nonsensory was going to be the worst.
Can you roll a D3 and lose that much sanity?
The 2 points I gained back.
There you go. Well, no,
I'm
that's
glad
your
I gave you
permanent
guys
loss.
sanity back.
That's
Yeah.
your permanent loss, though,
No.
right?
No, the permanent loss
No,
was
the-
the 3 to the Cthulhu Mythos.
Oh, I keep forgetting that. I keep forgetting that there's 2 separate rules here.
So now I'm back.
So
to
People of the Monolith. It is a book that was produced in recently in Monmouth, Illinois. There are no spells within. I need all 4 of you to roll Cthulhu Mythos now.
Oh.
And you gave me 10 right on that. I forgot
That is correct.
Well, where's that 7 now?
Come on, 3.
Oh, shoot. I did the wrong one. Hold on 1 second.
No. 59/10.
Cthulhu Mythos is different than the occult mythos, right?
Yep.
That
Cthulhu
is
Mythos
correct.
is the one that you just got.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it on the
It's C.
It's
in
alphabetical.
order.
Can we spend luck on this roll?
Do you want to spend luck
I
on
would
this
like
roll?
to spend 49 to get down to
Considering my Cthulhu Mythos
feeling
is
super
3
lucky.
and I rolled a 50, I don't
know,
have
I
enough
rolled
luck
50,
for that.
59.
You know, I'm already on the way down, so why not?
How many do you need?
Okay.
4 points.
Oh,
Oh, that's
good.
not bad.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Professor? Did you succeed?
No.
Okay.
I'm 20 something over, so no. I
So
won't be
Bobby?
doing the luck either.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby, the book, People of the Monolith. You know that it is bound in something, the skin of something called a Chthonian. It's like a kind of a sandworm looking thing.
Lodi. Aren't there, David and John, you guys are astronomy guys. Isn't there Chthonian planets or something like that?
Yes, there is. Refers to a planet that is planetoid with a non-oxygen atmosphere.
See? Smart
The
stuff.
big brain on Bobby.
Yeah, well,
That's Boom Boom Blackwood.
Yeah.
boom, boom. That's his catchphrase
Yeah.
now, too. Boom, boom, ladies.
Yeah, there's.
Dr.
Boom,
Boom
boom.
Boom.
Yeah, I'll rant
Wait.
on that one later.
let's
but-
go on.
Is he
Yeah.
like Starburn or not Starburns, but the other guy from Community? Pop Pop.
Boom, boom. But no,
Oh,
I will tell Aaron about the book cover.
like quietly.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, Aaron, I that book cover.
Yeah?
It's it's not like cow leather.
Or it's not human, is it?
And it's not human either.
That makes me
Not
feel
that
better.
book.
Well, not that book.
Not
yeah.
that book. Yeah.
If you want to know what human leather feels like, talk to
It's,
Professor Hardgrove.
I think the book I read kinda alluded to it.
Right.
It's let's just say that it's not from our world. I think,
obviously I have the book in my hand because I was reading it.
unless like sandworms are part of this world and I just don't know about it.
I've never heard of sandworms. I mean, you would need a lot of worms to bind a book in it. Are we talking?
I think they're big.
I'm gonna set it down on a surface, be like, is it dangerous?
Just what's inside of it.
So we're talking it's otherworldly,
I don't know. I
like
don't understand this.
like from Oz, kind of otherworldly.
Maybe that I can wrap my head around actually.
Just would have been published out of character. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it would have been.
So like another world. So it's not. I don't need to worry about when we're going to Africa that some giant sandworm is going to come blowing up out of the
I don't think so.
Sahara.
It's something
and
called
attack
a.
us.
It's something like called a Chthonian or something like that.
Okay, it's good to know. I mean, I'm going to keep reading since it's not dangerous to hold.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
I mean, that's you had me worried there about
It's
it.
not
There was
gonna-
something much
it's not gonna
serious,
bite
but
me.
it's
No, I know, it's
weird.
just-
I mean, I don't even begin to understand how anybody would get something that's not of this world.
That doesn't make a lot of sense to me either. Other than this entire thing doesn't make sense.
Well, no, it hasn't made sense from the start. I mean, we've got
I mean,
bodies that disintegrate in front of us, zombies.
yeah.
I mean, this whole thing is crazy, and we're the ones involved in it. But I mean, who else are we going to get involved?
At this point, it's not a matter who else we get involved. It's a matter of if we don't do something about it, something's coming after us.
I think so. I think something worse is going to happen if we don't get in the way.
Yeah. I don't want. I
Just,
don't want to be. I don't want to be rude. I don't want to end up like your friend.
I don't want any of us to end up like my friend.
Yeah, speaking of that, I would be telling Dalphus while you guys were having this conversation, I'd be like, the next time you have some random old friend that decides that they need your help and you need experienced people willing to go on an investigation, count me out. Jackson Elias sounds like all he did was drag us into this and get killed, and now here we are. Reading
Fair
about.
enough. It was supposed to just be some consulting, so I apologize.
So I'm going to continue the conversation with Bobby. So is this something that we need to tell the professor and Jewell about? I mean, this is kind of big as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it might not be to them. I mean, they're more learned than I am about
Maybe
things
this
like
would be normal to them. Maybe they know something more about it. I don't know.
Well, let's at dinner time. When we
yeah,
meet for
dinner. That's. Hey, by the way, sandworms. What do you think?
Well, you know.
Are they Republicans? You know.
Well, okay. At least drinks before dinner
No,
we can bring it
no
up.
politics at dinner, Bobby. We've talked about this.
Or sandworms, or tongues, or eviscerated ex-friends.
Yeah, it's religion, politics, or sports, and now we can add to it sandworms.
Exactly. All right. Well, when we meet for drinks before dinner, because I'm assuming there's a happy hour or some such before dinner on the ship,
Mm-hmm.
we will bring this. We will talk to the professor about it. See if he has any experience with this, or if Jewell has seen this. I mean, she's a curator of a museum. I'm sure they have something. I mean, we can't be. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your travel across the ocean. You are able to book passage on the RMS Aquitania.
Ooh.
It is a luxury liner, which means, Bobby, you can get as nice of a room as you want.
Oh God, yes.
But also the rest of you can get as nice of a room as you want as well. But I want to get an idea of where you guys are staying on the ship. It would be a matter of Ms. Rumtree and Mr. Lockhart, you'd probably be in third class. Mr. Hardgrove,
No.
you'd be in.
I would make sure to get her a nice room to make up for what happened in New York.
What I'm saying is, as
You owe
your credit
me,
rating
Hardgrove.
sits now, you guys could afford third class tickets. Professor Hardgrove, you could afford a second class ticket. Bobby, you're good with a first class ticket.
Mm-hmm.
But you can do whatever you want. I'm just saying, as your money sits now, that's what you can afford.
Well, I mean, is that even counting the $5,000 that we got from?
That, you know what? I'm not going to talk about your retainer and what you're doing with it. You can do whatever you'd like.
I actually want to get us a. I want to get us a suite, so that we
Stay together.
I would like at
Okay.
least.
Locker rooms.
Yeah.
So, first class ticket's going to be about $120. If you want a suite, it's going to probably be more like $700. And one of you is going to have to, or two of you are going to have to share a room.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem sharing a room with Bobby.
Yeah. No. I don't want to be. I don't want to be alone, even on a boat. I'm
Not
sorry.
a problem. No, totally understandable because we don't know who's going to be on the ship.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we'll do that.
We'll do
then.
that. That sounds good.
I will take whatever accommodations the people footing the bill for this venture.
Ooh, so does a suite on a boat in the 1920s come with a butler?
Yeah. If you're getting a suite, yeah.
Sweet.
I was actually just reading a thing like this is like a ritzy hotel on the water.
Nice.
So much so that Berenson coined the term Ritzonia to describe this particular ship.
Nice.
Good
Wow.
eats, probably not nasty hooch. You're probably gonna have some high class hooch.
It's been a good.
Oh yeah.
It's been a good
Well,
minute since I've been in some accommodations this nice.
And it's also a British ship, which means they have hooch.
Yeah. Good stuff, top shelf.
Speaking of which, though, with
won't call this
the book
hooch.
that I read, I think I would have probably gotten drunk after reading it.
Oh, so Bobby spent this entire trip sauced. Wonderful.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame him.
we all deal with these things in our own way,
we
Jewell.
do. I'm never drinking iced tea again. I'll tell you that right now.
Actually, that's going to be a good place for us to take a quick break. Roxy, we have an intermission thing to put up?
I just have the slide. I did
Okay,
not
cool.
get anything else done for that today, but in the future we'll have
That's
something
cool.
a little bit more
It
entertaining.
will work great. So yeah, we're going to be going for maybe 15 minutes, and then we'll be back. Stretch our legs, go to the bathroom. I'm going to shove food in my mouth.
Yeah.
And we'll be back in just a few.
Hey, and thank you all you viewers out
yeah,
there.
Yeah,
We
thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much.
We'll be right back.